Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's the radioactive Papi Danny Limelight, United Wrestling Network World Heavyweight Champion. And make sure you tune into the Alliance blog every week. You heard it here first. Straight from Papi.
Okay, guys, we're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
Rules?
There are no rules.
What rules?
This is a revolution, damn it!
You'll hear things you've never heard before.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
Who are those guys?
And then there's the other guys.
We're the other guys. We're the guys nobody ever bets on.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
It's time for the Other Alliance Guys podcast with your hosts, Tim, Dave, and Jeremy.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. What can we tell you? We are the Other Alliance Guys, a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance, TNA, UWN, MLP, and various independents around the world. My name is Tim. This handsome gentleman to my immediate right on the screen here anyway is Dave Scooby. How are you, buddy?
Doing well. September hit, and it's fall. It's in the 70s here. So I'm like, okay, cool.
As a Canadian,
Sun's still out, but
I know what that is.
It's a lot cooler. No blazing sun.
Yeah, I think we have very similar weather, you and I. And it was just a blazing hot summer, and now it's a nice, cool beginning to fall. So that'll be nice. Yep. And this gentleman trying to look over the top of his name tag. You look like you're like Kilroy was here. Right now. This is totally Jeremy today. How are you, buddy? What a great film.
That's one of the first DVDs me and my wife bought together.
It's so much. If we were talking backstage that Dave was saying Strange Brew 2 is coming out. That's just the film you never knew you needed, but secretly, now that you've heard about it, you're dying for it. Who's here in the chat? Rosville's here. Good to see you, buddy. Who do we got? Willie Bowen. Tyrus was in consideration for being in the Star Wars saga. He was up for the role of Jabba the Hutt or the Death Star. And Jeremy said, you could put him in both roles. The producers decided just put him in makeup and no one will notice the difference. just relentless. You know, I can't find a girl, guys. He's looking for love at all the wrong places.
Bravo.
That's terrible. Well, what are we talking about tonight? We are talking about MLP's Sacred Ground. We are talking about TNA Impact results. We are talking about fantasy booking around the NWA territories. And I think that's about all we're talking about. Do we know anything about the NWA TV tapings yet?
I'm not going to spoil anything. I've looked at some online spoilers. There were some surprises, I will say. But I mean, it just frustrates me that the NWA has to do something to try and play catch up.
Yeah, so far
back. Even if it's 4 to 6 weeks, that'd be fine with me. I mean, I keep extending it. First it's 3 to 4 weeks, then it's this, but it's like, I mean, at least they've signed. I guess Mike Mondo got signed. They have some good upcoming events in Chicago in a couple weeks. Riot Fest, they'll be there, and I mean that's huge if you like alternative and rock music. They'll be there September 19th through the 21st. Then a weekend in New York, I think with CEP, and then in October they have Samhain. But I mean, if you look at that and they're 2 to 3 months behind, that'll be December shows.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll talk about when I do the booking, the territories, the fantasy booking, what they need to do. I mean, just they need to shorten it up. I know it's one of these things of, hey, let's get stuff in the can. But that's 80s and 90s thinking. Now everything's instantaneous.
Right.
You know what happens when it happens. So, I mean, just like the frustration, I mean, I've read in the Discord, what's going to be shown? Are they going to show the Natty Kenzie match? Because the NWA has said nothing about that.
I saw where Fee posted in our Discord asking about that because they have posted up the card for this week's show, and it says nothing about Kenzie or Natty on it, and they also state that it's the finale of the Crockett Cup.
Well, then that's why we know then why they haven't talked anything about it, because it ain't coming.
If that's the case and they can't show it, that again shows just how fucking short-sighted Billy is. And
yeah,
that goes all the way back to his dealings with TNA whenever he thought that he would get ownership because he gave Dixie some money. You know, he's gotten so used to getting his way for so long that he doesn't feel that he has to look any further than past his nose. Sometimes it feels to me.
Right.
If you didn't get clearance to show this on TV, then why in the fuck did you bring her in to begin with? You weren't selling out a stadium or anything, bro.
That's the short, Jay. That's the short for this week. Yeah, man, it's true. Dave Valentine says the MLW has bought the NWA. I don't think that's true, David.
If that's the case, at least it's in more in better hands, more knowledge, more wrestling knowledgeable mind with
100%.
With Colt Bauer. The man has a great mind for wrestling, so if that was the case, awesome.
Yep.
Well, let's get back to the NWA in a little bit. Oh, here we go. Well, let's keep on her now because the boss is here. I mean, they booked her. I went. I had no intention of going until they booked Natty. So at least speaking about your boy, J Cow.
Well,
that's why I went.
Yep.
But to that end, though, if you can't show it on your show, you could have spent the money that you used on her to book a couple of extra teams or something that you could show. Now the only content that we know of that exists is yours.
That's right.
So that's a boon for us, for the Alliance channel. So if you haven't seen it, come to the Alliance channel. Jay uploaded it, I think, didn't he?
I believe he did.
So yeah.
He's got a copy of that match.
You've got a copy. You've got the public copy of that match. Fucking number one source. The number one source.
Number one.
Exclusive.
Not even the NWA has it.
Yep.
Thank you. Well, they do. They just may not be able to show it. Stupid.
It's true. It is true. Let's see. Rosville, he paid for the rights to have her on loan, but not for rebroadcast? Ain't that a bitch? Yeah. I mean, I don't get it. I was going to that show. I had a hotel room booked, and then everything happened between Canada and the U.S., and we went, no, we're not going to go. And I was like, it's fine. Because there wasn't anything on that show I really wanted to see anyway. And then it was like, hey, by the way, Kenzie's fighting Natty. And I turned to my beautiful wife and I went, fuck! He's got the match. That's what he's saying right there. So, nice. I don't know. It's like the biggest, the most interesting piece of in-ring footage the NWA has had in a long, long time. Can't think of...
Since Cody and Nick.
maybe since Cody and Nick. And they can't show it. I don't get it. But
think of how much footage that there is, though, that they can't fucking show because, again, of Billy's short-sightedness.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's come back to the NWA and come back to the territories in a little bit. Let's throw up a little bit of MLP because yours truly went to see Sacred Ground live from Ohsweken, Ontario, Canada. If you don't know where
come again,
yeah, it's like, you know what? Good night, Sheboygan. It's just nobody. You don't know where is Ohsweken, Ontario? Exactly.
What did you call me?
Yeah, you do, and you'll clean it up. At the Six Nations Sports and Cultural Center 3 nights ago now. It's about 45 minutes from our house, and here in Ontario on a native reservation community.
Yeah.
And it was a good show to begin with. I do have some. When you guys go into the media assets and sort of throw stuff up as I run through it, the full rundown. It's on the overlays. The full rundown is on AllianceWrestling.com in the articles section. I think it's on the front page right now. So MLP came to Ohsweken. This was a house show that they originally were not going to broadcast. And according to MLP President Scott Timor, the ask for this to be televised was loud. So they brought in the cameras. They brought in the full set. I can grab it, Jeremy. It's all good. It's right here. That was the full setup in the top right there. You know, it's the regular MLP set. Sam Laterna is your host for the night. I haven't seen Sam since she was in the NWA last, I guess. And nice to see her there. It was a pretty tight lineup. It was brought together with the help of a Canadian wrestling local icon, Nick Nitro, or Nick Wyman, and the Six Nations community. So the Luchador and I, my wife and I, went to see them in person. I would say it was probably set up for about maybe 600 people. They filled most of that throughout the night. I will say, because I'm kind of trying to give it a fulsome review, that the tickets were not easy to find when we got there, and the organization was the aspect of that was left a lot to be desired. But we thought of this as, well, it was a house show at a fair, at a Indigenous cultural fair inside their arena. So it wasn't really meant to be a televised broadcast before this anyway. So we kind of give them the benefit of the doubt on that. But several hundred people there inside the complex. Crowd was pretty decent for the less than advertised show. And the crowd did filter out as time went on, because it started late. It was supposed to start at 7, started about just before 7:30, and it wasn't probably 10:30 before everybody went out. People come to the fair with their kids is what I attributed that to.
Yeah.
But in the main event, you had TJP and Josh Alexander for the MLP title, and there's like 50 people in the room. I felt really bad for them. They put on a clinic. It was amazing, but we'll get to that one. We had a 6-man to start us off with Billy Gunn, Psycho Mike, and Bhupinder Gujar defeating Sheldon Jean, Bryce Hansen, and Brent Banks. So a bit of a comedy match. Billy did the scissoring with the crowd. He and in the ring, he did the old DX, with the whole crowd. Everybody knew that one. Psycho Mike with the body slams. People got excited for his, continuous body slams, like it's the greatest move of all time. And I would just say in this one that Gunn was especially fun as just the old veteran, getting the crowd up for the night, just making sure everybody was having a pretty good time. There was a tag team match that followed between Raj Singh and Jesse Bieber, who I'm not familiar with, who took the win over El Reverso, a Canadian luchador, and Kid Chocolate, Mo Jabari. It was pretty exciting. It was a good second match for the card. There is a MLP manager, Jimmy Jacobs, who was last seen, hanging PCO over the top rope with Dan Maff. He worked commentary for this match and said he was interested in one of the combatants. And at the end of this thing, he brought a chair down and handed it to babyface Mo Jabari, who just looked at it and threw it out, turned around and got ate the finisher from Raj Singh and the pin. So El Reverso seemed a little upset by his failure to pay attention, but there you are. I might get these a little bit out of order, but not too much. PCO was up, biggest pop of the night that wasn't Josh Alexander, in a mixed tag team match where he had Shotzi Blackheart as his partner against Taylor Rising and Chris Chambers. He's got the best entrance of any indie wrestler you'll ever see. Perfect Creation 1, and he's alive and all of that stuff.
Does he come out on the gurney and get jump started?
He comes out with the head thing still on, he's
okay.
You have to hold up your phone light and charge PC1 to life while he's on the ramp.
Okay.
It's fun.
Okay.
And, he's like a million years old, if I may say. I think he's 64, something like that.
He still goes so hard, though.
So hard, man. He's worth just going to see because he fights hard. He throws his body into it the whole time. He gives everything that he has, and
everything that he has, that man's given to wrestling, man.
And there's a limited amount of stuff. You could go into that all night long and go, you can't do this or that, or they have to. No, just enjoy PCO for being PC fucking O. It was so much fun. Shotzi was fun. Near the end of this thing, Taylor Rising, she has improved, and she was good before when we last saw her coming up in NWA. She looks good. She's got a tag team partner, Chris Chambers, whose gimmick is that he's like a moron. And so she kind of sort of leads the team on that one. I should put Dave over here. I got Dave hidden back there. Sorry, Dave. And what was I going to say? Near the end of this thing, it's mixed tag, so you never know if they're supposed to be in the ring, the same genders at the same time, but they end up that way. And Rising gives PCO a slap, and then she gives him another one. And the crowd, including me, I got the video. You can go and see it in our Discord for Alliance Dash Wrestling. It's in the doobly-doo if you're watching on YouTube. And where PCO just clotheslines her into next Tuesday. Crowd pops. He hits the moonsault on Chambers, and it's over. It was fun. It's a good match. I don't have there's all kinds of photos in the Discord, and there's even more on the website than there are here. We had Stu Grayson, who can also do no wrong in Canada. He's a Toronto boy. Defeating Tarek and Ace Austin. I have very limited exposure to Ace Austin. The guy's phenomenal.
No, Ace Austin. He's TNA guy. Yeah. He was paired up with Chris Bay for a while.
Okay.
Before Chris got hurt. Phenomenal talent. Fucking phenomenal talent.
Yeah, he's really good. And Tarek, who is, I believe, from out west, he has this whole punch, kick, chop combo that everybody likes to shout along to. which is literally what he does. And it's like he saved the universe after he does it, So it was fun. But yeah, Ace Austin is an aerial master. Like, that guy could just go. His promo was good. They showed it on the screen beforehand. But Grayson pins Tarek following that torture rack into the backbreaker finisher that he's got. Really enjoyed it. Is Morrow back, Patrick Moras? Yeah, Morrow was there. He was there up on the stage doing the commentary. I'll get into some of the comments afterwards, but mostly done. We had the Bishop Dyer, the Nomad, also super over in this crowd. He was at Northern Rising. I think he was at Resurrection. And he was taking on the PWA Champions Grail Champion, Rohan Raja, who is accompanied by Aurora Tevez, his valet. This thing kind of went as you would expect it to go, where Dyer, who's just a big boy, just keeps Raja on his heels for the entire match. He keeps bailing, he keeps taking shortcuts. Raja does, trying to keep his title, but he's essentially out-wrestled, overpowered in this match for most of it. And so in an anticlimactic moment, but frankly one that just ended up working for me, he just looked at Dyer, turns to the referee, and hoofs him right between the legs. Ref calls for the bell from his position on the mat. He escapes with his belt, and Dyer's left just fuming in the ring. It was just like not trying to get away with it, just right face to face with the ref. So, and I said to my wife, a special shout out to his valet, who was so old school valet in the crowd, like every time something was going in, she was going right. She was just beaming, Aurora. And every time something went wrong, she was like, no. And then everyone would cheer and she'd turn and scream at the crowds in the front row. Very old-timey manager stuff. Really liked it. So good match overall. Then we had technically an all-heel tag match with the Good Brothers. Again, another one of those teams that or town that's really over in Maple Leaf Pro. They took on a long-standing Ontario-based tag team called the Flatliners, Asylum and Matt Burns. And they look great, the Flatliners. They took it to Anderson and Gallows to a point where I was going like, are they going to win this? Like, on a televised event from a very local, tag team. Like, again, 20 years together in the area. But they beat the snot out of Anderson and Gallows for a long time. But they were the de facto baby faces, the Good Brothers were. Okay. And because of the overhealing that was being done by the Flatliners. They took it after a comeback and a couple of pretty solid double team moves. So everybody went home there. Giselle Shaw won a title match against, and I'm laughing because of something the Reluchador said during this match, but maybe I'll keep it to myself. I don't know. MLP Canadian Women's Champion Giselle Shaw put her title on the line against Destiny Wrestling Women's Champion Priscilla Kelly. Title for title. Shaw won her belt at MLP's Northern Rising back in May in Toronto. She beat Smiley Kylie Ray in the last of the tournament at that show to win the title. She talked a lot of trash to really show that she was the super heel in this match. And she took the Destiny Women's title from Priscilla Kelly. There was no screw job ending, where they both ended up with their own belts. Nope, it's now 2-belt Giselle right now, as she took the title from her. And then finally, I think that was finally it. Yeah, Josh Alexander, your MLP Canadian Champion, the Walking Weapon, taking on TJ Perkins, or TJP if you prefer. of the United Empire faction of Will Ospreay's, if I remember correctly. Both of these guys, look, TJP, who I've never had the pleasure of seeing wrestle in person before, looks like he's, 25. According to Wikipedia, he's 41. Looks like $1 million. Moves like $1 million. Both of them deserve the victory in this match. The crowd was obviously behind Josh Alexander. This is Canada. It's Josh Alexander. He can kind of do no wrong here. TJP had a great promo that they showed where they had a 5-star match in Australia back in the COVID age, and he wasn't able to overcome it. He wasn't able to overcome Alexander here either. I didn't have time to get any more photos, I apologize, but he did eventually submit to the ankle lock, and after going maybe 20, 25 minutes in this one at the end, and like I say, the crowd kind of petered out. I think the kids just got too tired at the county fair and they had to take them home. We know that happened to a family in the row right in front of us, but in the end for this show, quality talent, quality production. I think it's very hard to upgrade from something that you thought was just going to be a house show where, try to get people into the fair for the Six Nations community to something that they're going to put on TV this Thursday, which I think is the 11th, on their YouTube channel, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. And these matches were excellent. They're worth watching. It was a very feel-good affair overall. Like I said, it had its drawbacks with the ticket sales and the just physically trying to get the tickets and trying to get our way in there. But they gelled so well with this community, this talented and this company. It was great to see, all of the people that we've become associated with in Maple Leaf Pro in the last over the last almost a year, I guess, or around a year. Psycho Mike and Alexander and, just a lot of favorites that were left here. No one was left unsatisfied or unhappy. Again, watch them on the YouTube channel this Thursday. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. Support indie wrestling. Support Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. I don't know, man. It was a great show. Just looking for some of the comments here. Okay. The Flatliners, Patrick Moore, were in the NWA before. Oh, that's awesome.
I think so. I want to say they showed up for a Crockett Cup, but I can't remember.
I'll have to look into that one. I think they were in the NWA. Yeah, that could be it. Listen, I really, it sometimes sounds with like MLP that they're, Canadian centric, and they are. But the quality of the stuff here, I would throw right up there with TNA, which is, Scott D'Amore, not any big surprise. I enjoyed it a lot, and if you're looking for something along that kind of lines, give them a try.
Yeah, definitely.
Let us go now, however, speaking of TNA. If I can get my media stuff in order. To that segment what are we calling it? Total Nonstop Jeremy? Or are we calling it Championship Wrestling from Jeremy?
Attention, everyone.
School is in session.
Oh boy, is this great!
Let me talk to you.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
It's time for Championship Wrestling from Jeremy.
The best of TNA action, hot TNA action. What's going on, buddy? What happened this past week?
So we got the episode from September the 4th of 2025. They were in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Show kicked off kind of on a somber note, recognizing the goings-on that happened in Minneapolis, I think a day or two before that, possibly. But then we got Santino Marella in the ring, and he was there addressing his Cobra attack last week on Trick Williams. He said that Trick Williams was pissing him off, and doesn't always think with his brain. Sometimes he thinks with his Cobra. And when he's pissed, that's often when he thinks with his Cobra.
Right.
The crowd chanted for the Cobra, but Santino warned them that things could get crazy if he pulled it out. He does clarify it was self-defense as Trick was poking him, and that is 100% accurate. You can go back and watch the footage. Last week's episode, Trick was definitely assaulting him. Santino also said, though, that he would do it again, but that he is seeking legal representation at the moment as well. So there's that. He then announces that at Bound for Glory, though, Mike Santana will face TNA World Champion Trick Williams for the title. And this naturally brought out Mike Santana. Mike naturally said this is the biggest fight of Bound for Glory this year, and that he will bring home the TNA World title, not only for his daughter and his family, but for the fans. He says that Trick not showing up until he has to is a bitch move by him. But since Trick doesn't want to show up to TNA, Mike Santana will show up to NXT. So I imagine this week on NXT, Mike Santana will be popping up in one form or fashion. We then go backstage where Gia Miller was speaking with Mar Sade and the Hardy Boys. Mar and the Hardys are disgusted by Order 4 and Agent Zero's attack last week, and tonight they will get the beating that they deserve.
Ooh.
We then see Santana backstage, and Moose walks up and tells him after their match at BFG last year, he has no doubt Mike will bring the TNA World title home. AJ Francis comes walking up while on the phone with Trick Williams, telling him about the announcements that have just been made. He then focused on Moose, and in turn, Moose challenged him to a match next week. And he hopes that after he's done embarrassing AJ's big ass, he doesn't go crying to Trick. AJ accepts and tells Moose that this will be the biggest fight that you've had since picking up your tongue to talk. Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Damn.
I went back and watched that a couple of times, and I think for a second it slipped right over Moose's head, and then you see it click, and he just kind of looks over like, you did. I don't know. Again, go back and watch. You tell me. Ryan Nemeth then came out to tell everyone that his big brother comes back tonight, and we're told by commentary that this was not on the card. This brought out Matt Cardona, who is next on the card. And he's facing Frankie Kazarian for the first time ever. These two have never touched before. I did not know that. I was surprised. Matt told Ryan that no one cares about him, no one cares what he has to say, and no one cares about his big brother. Ryan accuses Matt of having brother envy, which got him bonked on the head with the mic and kicked out of the ring. Then Kazarian's music hit, and we finally got to start the match, and I'm glad that we did. These two did not disappoint, put on a hell of a match. The pacing was good, and they made the most of the time, slowly building up to the finish. Good amount of back and forth started off the match before Kaz gained control. Cardona rallied back and seemed poised to get the win when Nemeth, who out of nowhere, he came to off of the floor where he had been and distracted Cardona. Cardona arm dragged Nemeth into the ring and then hit the radio silence jumping leg lariat. As he was turning his attention back to Kaz, though, Kaz got mad up for the fade to black backpack pile driver and got the win. Go watch this match. It was my match of the week. It was very well put together. They paced it just right. Everything went quite well. The crowd was into it the entire time. These two were vets, and they showed why they're top guys for TNA right now. It was very good. We then Gia speaks with Kaz after the match and asked if he knew he would need help to win. Frankie said that the only reason she would ask a question like that is because she sucks at her job. He then proceeds to show her how to do it and asks himself what is he working towards, and answers himself by saying that he has his eyes on the TNA International title. This brought out the title holder, Steve Macklin, who let him know anytime, anywhere, any place, as Frankie backed up the ring running his mouth, or backed up the ramp running his mouth. We then got a video package from The Inspiration. And these two crack me up. I get big Christian and Edge and Christian vibes off of them. They say after pinning Fatal Influence from NXT last week, picking up that win has them feeling good and has them feeling great. With that win, they're one step closer to the TNA Women's Tag Titles, and tonight they'll be watching the Elegance Brands celebration, which came next. The personal concierge delivered the usual platitudes for Ash by Elegance. Ash is presented with a portrait painted by Picasso's sisters, cousins, neighbors, nephews, guitar teacher that had an ant painted. She did a good job. I'd hire her. It wasn't bad, really. I demand better canvas next time. I think she did it on like styrofoam, because after she was given her own personalized bottles of champagne as well, Masa Slamovich came out and crashed the festivities. She ran her mouth a little bit and then got into the ring and attacked. She was quickly outnumbered. This brought out Li Ying Lee and Zaya Brookside. They evened things up for a minute, but then the Elegance brand got the upper hand again. And as I stated a moment ago, the Inspiration were keeping a close eye on this, so they came out. This caused the Elegance brand to flee the ring to the floor, and the five ladies that were left in the ring grabbed the portrait real quick and ripped it up and started throwing it at them and Ash, who was crying on the floor. It was funny. We then got an order for video package with Mustafa Ali saying that the choice is ours, but TNA is his. This guy's doing some of the best fucking character work in wrestling right now.
Nice.
Flat out. Triple threat match was next for number one contender for the TNA Women's Championship, and they'll get the winner gets that shot at Bound for Glory.
Okay.
Next month. And it's Jody Threat versus Indy Hartwell versus Danny Luna. Another really good match. I'm not a fan of. I hate fucking multi-man matches. This one was really good. The way that they worked it was really good. As the match opened, Jody was trying to talk to Luna, who was having none of it. Luna shoved Threat into Hartwell, and the match was on. Threat and Hartwell from here did a good job of keeping Luna out of the match. This was good as it adds to Luna's frustrations, and we got to see some really solid heel work coming out of her. She's been a babyface the entire time she's been in TNA, and so now we're getting to see that other side, and they're building that match. They built that match around that to help build that up. And every time she would find a way back in, they would shut her down. Luna's rage boiled over as she attacked Indy, who had just pinned Jody to secure the #1 spot. Luna pounced and began raining down shots. Threat was able to pull Luna off, but was quickly knocked away. And Danny continued her assault for about another minute or so, just completely unabated, before finally stopping. I look forward to seeing what they plan on doing with her moving forward. She's great talent, so yeah. We then get Eric Young, who says he's not upset, but he is the only one that is seeing clearly, and everyone should be ready for the cleanse. Yeah.
Aggressive.
Yeah. We then get Joe Hendry. Motherfucker pops out of nowhere sometimes.
We gotta get a Joe Hendry head on a stick just to bring it to the.
I like that. Joe said he wished he was out there to talk about how wrestling brings people together, but he's not. Instead, he's out there to talk about Eric Young's attack on him last week and proceeds to call out EY. EY in the Northern Armory came out, and EY says that he will not wrestle Joe this week. But next week, the cleanse begins, and it begins with Joe Hendry.
Okay.
He didn't pop out, so
that's good. We're okay.
He needs to be training for this week's match. He needs to be training for EY. So yeah, he doesn't need to be popping up in my damn apartment in Colorado Springs.
I believe in him though.
I do too. And it would be awesome if he did pop up, but I'd have to tell him, dude, you need to get back to wherever the fuck it is you need to be this week and train for EY. Can't sleep on this guy. We then see Santino backstage talking to Leon Slater, current TNA X Division champion. And Santino told him that both Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel have been cleared for action. So the X Division is looking strong. And Leon Slater was quite happy with this news. We then get the main event, which was 6-person mixed tag match between Order 4, Tasha Steelz Tasha Steelz in the great hands with Agent Zero, and Mara Sade with the Hardy Boys. This was weird because this part brought me back to something Cornette said a long time ago about how whenever he was programming for Smoky Mountain and stuff, he would program down to 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be the main event does not get interrupted. If you're having a commercial break, you have a commercial break before the main event, or you have a commercial break after the pin, right before the credits. But you don't cut into it for any reason. Right as soon as the Hardy Boys and Sade got down to the end of the ramp, they cut to commercial break. Now, on the TNA Plus app, I get to sit there and watch what's going on, the action that's happening or not happening in the ring. So if there's a match going on, I get to see the action that's going on, which is kind of cool.
Right.
But like for this instance, granted, it was just them walking around the ring and shaking babies and kissing hands, but still, it's the Hardy Boys.
Right.
Like we got Order 4's entrance, but you're not going to give the Hardy Boys their entrance. Just that that took me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You see that, Dave?
Yeah.
He was just here. He's gone,
Yeah.
Jeremy.
What happened?
He was here. He was late, but he's gone now.
Damn.
Maybe say his name. Next time you say his name, we'll see.
But this match was the match though overall was good. After that, the Hardy Boys, I've said before, you're getting a greatest hits of the Hardy Boys when they're in a match now.
Right.
They're mainly working like multi-man matches where they've got an extra partner if it's TV, and then for pay-per-views they're doing multi-team matches a lot, to where they don't have to carry a lot of the weight, and they shouldn't be. But we got to see all the standards, the double leg drop on the exposed crotchal area of the downed opponent, twist of fates, the swantons, all that great stuff.
Charlie Murphy.
Right. Agent Zero got tossed out real early on in this match as he got caught attempting to interfere. Then we got to see some really good back and forth between Sade and Stills. They had a singles match last week that was really good, and I'd like to see some more single matches between these two. Stills is a solid veteran wrestler.
Yep.
And Sade is someone to watch in the women's division for TNA. I don't think her being let go from NXT was so much of a downgrade as it was you're better utilized here than what we can utilize you on the main roster, and there's nothing really left for you to do here in NXT. So our partner's interested, and they have something for you right now.
That's right.
And it's working out to her benefit. She's a good wrestler. She's damn good. In the end, at the end of this match, we saw Matt hit Skylar of the Great Hands with the Twist of Fate. Then Sade followed it up with a Lita tribute moonsault. She came out and her gear was very Lita-esque, which you could it. I wonder if Matt has some splaining to do when he got home to Rebby, just because she's just that kind of individual. But I'm sure we probably would have heard about it all over Twitter.
Yeah.
After Sade hit her moonsault, Jeff finished it off with the Swanton Bomb. As they were standing there, this is another thing that I didn't care for. As they're standing there, they've got their backs to the ramp and they're cheering, and out come the Nemeth brothers, and the crowd starts cheering for them, and they're just standing there facing the crowd, just like, yeah, we won. Huh? What's that? No, we won. We won. Like, come on, man. But the Nemeth showed up, and they took out the Hardys. And then Nick Nemeth fucking super kicked Sade into this coming Thursday night. Just fucking took her head off. She fell like a ton of bricks. She sold the shit out of it.
That's good. It was that good, was it?
He caught her, man. I just. If you're not watching TNA, it's free on YouTube, so you're silly not to. Fuck, I'm paying $9.99 for it. Come on now. Don't be sillier than me. If you're not watching TNA and all of its goodness right now, I'm going to super kick you in the next Thursday night.
Oh, very aggressive. Patrick Moore asks, what do you think about the WWE TNA deal, and should main roster WWE guys go to TNA too?
So far, it's proving beneficial for TNA. you can see the difference in the crowd from before this happened to now. It's I don't know. I'm not an insider, so I have no idea what they have planned down the road.
Yeah.
I would like to see main roster guys show up in the WWE or from WWE show up in TNA. We've got to see Joe Hendry now quite a few times. See, there he is. You sneaky fucker. We've got to see Hendry pop up a few times now. I didn't say his full name. Did that on purpose. But we've seen him pop up at WrestleMania, at TNA on SmackDown. I think like last week. I think he showed up, or on Raw. He showed up a bunch. So
because he's going there, that's why.
What's that?
Because he's going there, that's why.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. He's definitely going. And I think that's why we'll see this storyline between EY and him play out and finish up probably around the end of the year, because that's when Hendry's contract is up, and then we'll see him pop up in the E. I see Willie says the TNA working with WWE is terrible. WWE would drain TNA's top wrestler roster. WWE or cutthroat wrestling promotion. Yeah, they are. They are. At this moment, though, it is working out in TNA's favor. Like I said, they're seeing the best houses that they've seen since they started. And in some instances, they're breaking those crowd records. So it's working out well for TNA at the moment. How it does later on, I don't know. But until then, go watch TNA. You don't have to watch WWE.
Watch what you like.
Yep.
Don't be a dick, for sure. Thank you, sir. As always, appreciate it. You make me want to watch TNA every week, especially now.
It's free on YouTube.
It's free on goddamn YouTube.
Free on fucking YouTube.
Let's move on, however. Let us move on at this point to our fantasy booker extraordinaire, Dave Scooby, in a segment we like to call I Respect You, Booker Man. Well, Dave, let me get you over into the premier chair here.
Okay.
Dave, you were given, I think by Patrick Moore, a question for fantasy booking a couple of weeks ago about how you would book the NWA territories. Tell us about it.
Well, first off of how it should be booked, the territories, but the territories and the NWA, until they're on the same timeline and there's not a 3-month delay of champions being noted as champions, things will never sync up. And like I've said before, I'd be okay with only a 4 to 6 week delay between what's being taped and what's happening out in the territories and what's being shown on Roku. But here's how I would book things. Now it's the NWA isn't actually booking the territories themselves. They're booking their champions in the territories. And since there's now quite a few new champions in the NWA, set up a 2 or 3 month tour that runs through the territories, or as many as possible that you can. It'd bring a bigger crowd to the territorial shows, as well as give the champions a chance to start building up their records of defenses and title shots.
Makes sense.
And they could also use your champions. If a champion can work with somebody in the territories, that talent may be able to be used in an upcoming NWA taping or event. And for God's sake, have somebody with a camera phone. Every phone that I know of these days has a camera on it, and you can take pictures and video. So I mean,
it's a 4K.
Yeah, I mean, film the matches and just use part of it to highlight it on a power show. Highlight it on if they ever do a NWA USA territorial show. I mean, video footage from a phone is better than no video footage at all. If you can't take video, at least take pictures. Before pictures, a couple pictures of them hitting some moves, and then them being either a new champion being crowned or them retaining the belt. And I mean, currently the NWA has 8 sanctioned territories, and quite a few of them are territories that involve NWA talent. You have Crossfire, which is Kenzie and Kylie. It's their dad's promotion. They're running it. JCP, Joe Kazana, Country Gentlemen. You have Rodney and Jazz with the Dog Pound in Texas. You have Texas Style Wrestling, which they're trying to do their own thing, and I don't know what will ever become of them, if they're going to be used with the NWA or not. But I'm hoping good things happen. You have Harley's connection with WLW and the NWA, and Trevor's also in the Missouri area, so he can do that. Exodus Pro is EC3's in Cleveland. You've got NWA Chicago. Brian Idol is I believe the person in charge there. I'm really surprised that they haven't hit YouTube yet. They've had some good matches, but they just need to step up. That if Brian Idol's running that, step up and do something more to work with your current talent and your current title holders. And then the odd one out is NWA New Mexico.
Yeah.
And Fred Slow is the owner-operator of Duke City Championship Wrestling. And their connection to the NWA, I believe, is Pollo has been there as a manager, and also Brian Idol is one of their current champions, the Route 66 champion. So there's a couple of the sanctioned territories that need to step up and be more involved with the NWA per se. But I mean, there's 8 sanctioned territories. That could easily be a three-month tour if they would all sit down and plan things out, like you plan out a storyline. That this starts it, this is the crescendo, and this is what it takes to get there. You figure out who's going to have shows, when they're having shows, what talent can get to these shows, and defend their titles out on the territories. That you have U.S. tag champs. You have new world tag champs. You have your women's TV champion, your men's TV champion, your national champion. I mean, Plunkett's out with the Midwest Championship. Use all your champions to build up their records, and also find your future competitors, your future contenders for these titles. Plus, there's also a few non-sanctioned promotions. FTW, which is also Brian Idol down in Florida. Championship Entertainment Productions in New York. And the Pope is back. He was at the latest tapings. He has his Love Alive charity. Do a yearly event with them down in Florida using NWA talent. And for God's sake, any and all footage of current NWA talent, whether they're title holders or not, if they're wrestling for any of the NWA territories, just do a rebirth of NWA USA and do that, make that as a highlight show. If it's done every 2 weeks, that's great. If it's done once a month, do NWA USA as a highlight show of the territories. Then you have your 4 powers, and then a NWA USA highlight show. Then you go back to your power. I mean, many of the territories are already on YouTube, so use it to your advantage. Build up your viewership. If you use NWA USA as a highlight show, link all of the territories that are on YouTube so you can see the whole match, not just highlights of it. I'd use it to build up the women's division on Power. Use your territory talents. Go back to the days of using enhancement talent to help build up contenders for the TV, for the women's TV title and the tag belts. They don't have to be a established tag team. It's good if you have an established tag team, but even a defense against a quote-unquote enhancement jobber tag team is better than no defense at all. I mean, down the line, have a territory-style Crockett Cup. I mean, you can go as far as, hey, it's a territory. It could be the Kazana Cup. Since he's the president of the territories, build up some teams to then challenge for the U.S. tag titles, or even use them in a Crockett Cup, a battle for the Crockett Cup. The battle for a chance to be in the Crockett Cup. You have to build from the bottom up to the top. If you don't build, it's the same thing over and over and over again. Vanilla ice cream is good, but sometimes you got to put some strawberries on it. Sometimes you got to put some whipped cream and some I don't know, chocolate sauce.
Right.
It can't be the same thing over and over and over again. Now, if things work out in the territories, use that as a testing ground. That's what dark matches and just shows were done out on the territories throughout the week for the tapings on Saturdays. Try your matchups at the TV tapings, bring those matches then to Power if they're good. If it's a dark match, show it on YouTube. Try to build up some attraction. I mean, use your underutilized NWA talent to test the up-and-comers. I mean, you have guys that were in the WWF, WWE. I mean, Burchill, great talent. He's just lost. Who knows what they're looking for when you go to a TV taping? He could be one of those people that just is. He's not so much a gatekeeper, but he's the challenger for established talent out on the territories to see if they would be able to work, whether it be a dark match or an enhancement match at upcoming tapings. That's what I would do if I was booking the territories per se. The NWA, I don't believe, has a full say in what the territories do, but they have to give an okay for championship bouts. So why not use it? Build up your champions out on the territories with defenses of those belts.
Just makes sense.
Yep.
That's one of the most concise ones, Dave, that I'm like, yep, every step of the way, I'm with you on that one. Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, we come to the end of We got anything else? That's it, right? I didn't forget anything, did I? Other than the social stuff. Go to the social stuff. Dave, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram, X, and every once in a while on Blue Sky at Dave Scooby. So just hit me up if you have any ideas for some fantasy booking or just want to talk wrestling.
Excellent. How about you, Jeremy?
You can find me on Facebook at Jeremy Miller. My Blue Sky app went into hibernation mode on my phone. It's been that long since I've been on there. I'm on there at Alliance Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook as well right now. That's about it right now, but we'll see how that goes. Most importantly, Alliance at the Alliance blog, alliance-wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance. At the Alliance blog on all the social media platforms that you have heard of and some that you haven't. They're already there waiting for you. However, we can get the Alliance blog on, what was that one before Facebook? MySpace. I wonder if Jay has a MySpace account. Join us every Thursday at 8. That's 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific for the Alliance guys. That's Jay, DK, and Jaden. They go through all the NWA news and power and the whole bit. And every Tuesday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, it's the pre-party right before Power, where Jay talks power with you guys. That is it. Yeah, there you go, Dave. I totally agree. Patrick Moore says about your fantasy booking. Fantastic. That's it for us. Until next time, when we stream to you from an entirely different platform that none of us have ever done it from before, we'll see you at the matches. Point your finger, Dave. There you go.
Thanks for joining the stream. This has been a presentation of alliance-wrestling.com. We genuinely appreciate your support. Would you consider subscribing so you'll never miss a future episode? I'd also like to remind you we do a live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. before NWA Power. You can find us on social media at The Alliance blog. And until next time, we are The Alliance.